Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a pretty long one. It's going to be an Ashe updated complete guide for patch 6.0b and above. But of course, as usual, don't forget to check out her basic guide for her skills, leveling order tips and tricks, as well as a couple of combos, which I'll put up in the cards above. But with that said, let's now jump into discussing the items, runes, and spells. So for the items, I think it's relatively straightforward. Generally, you want to start off with Gluttonous Greaves for 35 AD and 7% Omnivamp. First item is pretty much always going to be Terminus. Terminus is just a very solid first item option for a lot of champions who build Terminus, because you get AD, you get attack speed, you get on-hit magic damage, you get stacking resistances, and stacking penetration. Like, what more could you want? Right? It's just insane as a first item. Then for the next two items, it's gonna be Bork and Runans, but the order can change. So the default order I go for is Bork first for the AD attack speed, physical vamp, as well as the current health on hit damage most importantly, and the Dream passive. Then Runans, of course, gives you more attack speed, allows you to attack 3 people and slow 3 people from your passive at the same time, also proccing your on-hit effects and giving you a little bit of AD. So you can swap the order to something like this. Now, for example, if you're playing ARAM, you definitely want to go for Runans first. If, of course, you're playing a normal ranked or normal game, you do want to go for Runans first if there's a ton of skirmishes and team fights in the earlier stages of the game. That's where Runans will kind of be better than Bork, but aside from that, Bork is generally better than Runans early. Now for your fourth item, I have Triforce here as a default. It just gives you very nice stats, a little bit of health for tankiness, a little bit of AD, a little bit of attack speed, as well as a little bit of ability haste. Helps you spam your W and your Q a little bit more often. And then you of course get the Spell Blade for a little bit of additional damage. Now you can swap this out for something like a Wit's End if you're against some very heavy magic damage. You could swap it out for something like a Shield Bow if you want to be even more defensive, things like that. And your last item, you always want to go for a defensive option. Now here, by default, I have Amaranth Twin Guard, but you can of course go for, once again, you can go for Shield Bow, you can go for GA, you can go for Wit's End, you can also go for Maw if you prefer that. So runes, of course, it's going to be lethal tempo for the attack speed and the additional attack range. Brutal, of course, because you're an ADC that auto attacks a ton. Giant Slayer to deal with the tanks. Alacrity just for more attack speed, and Bone Plating just for the defensive stats. And finally, for the spells, currently with Ashe, I still love to go for Flash and Ghost. Ghost, I take it almost all the time on Ashe. Now, of course, as usual, you can of course go for your Barrier, Exhaust, and Cleanse depending on the situation, but Ghost is going to be the default option majority of the time, at least for me. But with all that said, now let's move on to talking about the gameplay. Alright my friends, now let's move on to the gameplay. Of course, before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Questions, queries, remarks, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and of course I will be sure to address them. So this one, as you guys can see, is a pretty long gameplay. It goes almost 30 minutes. It's a banger with at least 2 Elder Dragons, and I think like at least 3 Barons, if I'm not wrong, might be more. But here you can see Samira oversteps, and with Ashe you can see I'm slowing her down, I'm just pelting her, she pops the barrier. And here, she's like 1 HP. If she didn't have barrier there, I would have killed her on the tower because her Singe is nowhere to be seen. I flash forward, I try to kill her. She's actually literally just at 1 HP. Like look at this. Yeah, look at that. I nearly just killed her at level 1. Unfortunately, she's able to get away. And yeah, unfortunately, we don't get the kill here. And this is a pretty unfortunate match in the earlier stages of the game, at least. So here, we still have an AFK Singe. We've shoved in the wave. We've gotten some free tower damage. No plate though. So yeah, so here she's still level 1. And of course we're still looking to play aggressive because her support is not in lane. Now here he is. Flips Maokai back. My Maokai of course is a tank and he's fine. I'm just pelting him with my arrows. Just getting off some free damage while I can. And yeah, so here you'll see where the problem lies pretty soon. So here we're with a Maokai. Of course, Ashe kind of works very well with any support. Here you can see the problem. Singe flips me into Samira. I'm trying to escape with my Ghost, but I just get run down, basically. And honestly, that's on me. Obviously, because I overstepped and I got tossed by Singed. Maokai gets the same treatment, and Rammus is just AFK farming his jungle. the Maokai was literally next to him, but anyway. Because basically after Singed rework, he was so OP, right, that everybody was banning Singed, and essentially I played against Singed like only like less than 5 times. I'm not gonna lie, like because he's always banned, right? And after he's like no longer permaban now, like people don't really play him because he's not like completely broken anymore. So I really haven't played against Singe that much. So I do tend to have a little bit of a problem when it comes to respecting Singed. So here a fight is breaking up over the Skull Crab. All of us rotate and we're gonna kill Warwick. Warwick just goes down because his team doesn't rotate. He ends up in a 4v1 and he gets completely destroyed, so that does go well. And yeah, so in terms of support, Ashe works pretty well with any support. If you are with an enchanter, they can protect you and you can DPS. You are no like hyper carry like Zeri or Kai'Sa, but you still output a good amount of damage. If you're with a tank engager support, you can either follow up their engage or they can follow up yours if you launch your arrow. So pretty much she works with everybody. She's not very support reliant, so she's generally fine whoever you're with. So here I'm trying to back to get my boots, but Singe comes in, tosses me back again. I'm gonna have to ghost out once more. This time I do have the double bust from Warwick though, so it is helping me out with the slow onto Singe and Samira. Now I'm trying to make use of my range to just get my farm so that I don't lose all my minions. Here Maokai goes in on Singe. I chain CC and stun him under tower. And now we're going after Samira, who only had just hit level 5. Now we really need to back off because you can see Warwick is now coming in. He dives the tower. Samira tries to ult, doesn't quite clip him. Warwick dies under the tower, but Maokai gets the kill. Samira takes a tower shot as well, and she goes down as well to me. So I do get the shutdown on the Samira, who has already accumulated 3 kills. Fortunately though, I got 2 assists and a kill from the last couple minutes, and that actually puts me about 500 gold or so ahead of the Samira, so I'm in pretty good shape, all things considered, especially considering how Singe is constantly tossing me, toward the Samira. That is not, that's not very fun. So it is a very skirmish heavy game, and it's going to be a very, very bloody game, as you guys can see from the title of the video. It's a long and bloody game. So you will expect to see many kills, also many deaths, all over the shop. I mean, honestly, everybody in this game dies a ton of times, and everybody gets a ton of kills as well. Here's Singe trying to take advantage of the fact that Maokai is not here to, try and get a catch on me. Doesn't quite work out. And honestly, I'm not even sure of what's the cooldown on Singe's flings. I don't really even know how to play around it. It just kind of shows how inexperienced I am at playing against Singe. I mean, honestly, there's just some champions that you just don't really know, right? And normally I try to make it a habit of making sure that I know every champion, but after the Singe rework, it kind of just slipped my mind. I never really, went to check on Singed and what he's like after the rework. He is back again, tosses the puddle, and yeah, that puddle is a menace, right? You can't escape it and you wait using any of your dashes or flashes. So, if he just tosses it on you, pops the ghost, like he's doing here, you pretty much have no escape, right? So here I get tossed in again. I'm getting ulted by Samira. I have no chance. I'm dead. Now my team is coming in for the cleanup. Taunt goes in onto Samira. Samira pops the barriers, getting run down by Morgana and Rammus. Rammus picks up the kill. Morgana tanks tower and dies. Root goes in onto Singe. Singe is pretty low, gets taunted by Rammus. Rammus is whacking him for all he's worth, and Rammus picks up a double kill. So thankfully, the situation has kind of been salvaged by my team a little bit. I'm just waiting in base for a couple seconds just to get enough gold for my Terminus, which I picked up right here. Now me and Samira are basically equal in gold at this point, and on looking across the map, it is relatively even. Like Darius has a 500 gold lead, Rammus has like a almost 1,000 gold lead. Here I flash in and try to make something happen, doesn't really work out. And now Maokai is going in. I'm just trying to slow down the Corki. We take down the Corki, who does have a little bit of a shutdown. Samira ulting me. We actually managed to kill her before she gets off her full ult, but now Morgana is in trouble. Tries to outplay it by running back the way she came, but Warwick does have that passive, of course, and passive on his W, I guess you could say, and just runs her down. So the biggest discrepancy in this game is between mid lane. So actually it's not even anymore. It used to be like a 1.5k difference, but now it's like about a 1k difference. It's still the biggest discrepancy here. Rammus goes in, taunts Warwick and steals the dragon. So dragon goes into our pocket. He's killing Warwick as well. Warwick's almost dead. Maokai and myself making our way there. seeing if we can get anything done. Sinch is pretty low. I'm trying to pelt him. I launch the arrow at him. We get the kill onto him, but I'm whacked. I got whacked by Corki's package, and I find myself in deep with no way out, and Maokai goes down as well. Now Samira pops the barrier again, and now she gets caught by Morgana. Unfortunately, she goes down, doesn't have time to ult. Corki now finds himself in trouble as well. Tether attached, gets rooted, misses the ult unfortunately, and Morgana picks up a double and doesn't die for it because the ult from Corki did miss. So very, very competitive, very, very bloody game as you guys can see. Both teams are almost even. There's only about 1k between the teams, which is honestly a negligible difference between the teams. So it's a very, very even game state. And this is the kind of game that you kind of love to play, where, or at least I love to play, where, you know, it's a very competitive game and, you know, it could go either way. That's kind of the most fun games in my opinion. Of course, some people do like stomps. I don't really like stomps. I mean, a stomp once in a while is nice, but not every game, not too often. And here we push in the wave. Corki does come to defend a little bit, but not really very much he can do aside from clearing the wave. Don't think he's gonna be able to kill us with Maokai right beside us. And in fact, we could even make a play on him if we want. Both myself and Maokai have ult, and we can ult down the Corki and maybe, you know, go for him if we wanted to. Warwick is here now though, so probably we don't want to do that right now. And in comes the Herald as well. We are going to have to back off from the tower, which is going to get one shot by the Herald. Initially I thought that was it, right? But the enemy team realizes that Morgana is pushing mid, and there's also Rammus and Irelia pushing top. So they realize no one is defending this except me and Maokai, and now they're going for a second push. All the three, I don't know what you call it, the ensemble minions are here. Singe goes in, actually flings me away from Warwick. Here I'm trying my best to kite and just deal damage to whoever I can, but it doesn't really work. Eventually, we do die. Morgana comes in for the cleanup, gets a shutdown, and does salvage the situation by a little bit. But I mean, we did get 4 men dived, and we did lose a tower and a half, so it's not really the best of situations at the moment.
Top turret is under attack.
Here we have now respawned. We're 5, 5, and 2, so for every like kill we've gotten a death. And honestly, Samira is kind of the same, and so is like Morgana. You know, and like pretty much everyone in the game is in a similar kind of situation, where they basically, their kill and death numbers are very similar. Of course, except the supports, and except for Corki, who does have a bunch more kills than he does deaths. But pretty much everybody in this game is kind of stuck in the same situation, where they're killing but they're dying at the same time, which is, I guess you could say, is generally not an ideal situation. But I guess if it's happening to everybody, it's not really that bad. So here, taking the Hex Gate back out. No objectives are up at the moment, so I'm just thinking of pushing in this wave, which doesn't really have a lot more minions left in it. I can see Singe taking the Hex Gate towards my side, so I'm just walking away. Helping out Rammus with his red buff so I can get the buff share. There we go. Now here the dragon is coming up in like 30 plus seconds, and both teams are kind of just hovering around. There's not really that much to do. The main issue is, you can see in the top lane, a huge wave is kind of accumulating and someone has to kind of respond. So Morgana is going there to respond to the wave, but this means that we shouldn't be starting a fight because of how Morgana isn't with us. However, Irelia and Maokai overextend. I actually straight up just get caught here and flung into the pool, and I just get one shot. I basically made 0 contribution in this fight. My team is getting wiped out as we speak. Maokai is the last guy standing. He goes down, and the enemy team get a relatively clean ace, with the only casualty being Samira. So yeah, it was kind of just a mess there. Me and Rammus were just kind of waiting there. Maokai and Irelia overextended by a ton, and Morgana was not in the fight because she needed to go top to clear the wave, which she didn't even manage to do because the fight broke out. So overall, that was just some horrible macro by my team. Like, we were not on the same page whatsoever, and it's just honestly kind of a complete disaster. Now we have respawned. A huge bot wave is kind of accumulating, so we are able to come down here, catch the bot wave, and get all of that juicy farm. And we're of course also getting the next wave after that. And we're just picking up farm here. Baron is going to be spawning, so the reason why I'm not going out to the lane is because I don't want them to see me on the opposite side of the map. Singe sees me, he's going for me. I'm trying my best to fight him, and here you can see it's a 1v1. So I kill Singe 1v1, so I'm flashing here before he can put down the puddle again, and I do get the kill on him, but I take a lot of damage. I nearly die. Here I was thinking of backing, but then I realized that it's a 4v4 in the top side. So here I realized that I can get them an objective bounty. So I'm hoping my team doesn't just straight up die and give enemy team Baron. I'm hoping that at least they prolong the fight so that I'm able to get the tower at the minimum, even if we lose Baron. But it looks like my team is actually fighting back, and looks like we're now winning. Samira and Corki are both at critical HP. I pick up the tower, and they're chasing both Samira and Corki. I'm backing Samira and Corki both die, so this time we get an ace and I wasn't even there. I mean, I did contribute, I killed the Singed, but I didn't help in that 4v4 at all. So now with that, my team is now the one that is doing the Baron. So I'm headed over to help my team. Rammus is really low, and that's really the concern here. We need Rammus, of course, to smite this, so we're getting it low. Rammus does get the smite. Warwick and Singed both go in. I'm trying to stun both of them at the same time, but Warwick ends up tanking it for the Singe. Both of them do die anyway, which is great news for us. And here we're just going to quickly clear all of these minions, and we can get a reset and pick up our Runan's Hurricane. So now 3 full items completed, we're in a good spot, and now is when we start thinking about the enchant. So now of course we don't have cleanse, so what we really want here is a QSS, because QSS will of course allow us to remove Warwick's suppression, as well as Singe's fling if we are able to time it properly. And yeah, that's kind of what's most useful at the moment. Now here I'm taking the red buff because the red buff share is already active. And of course that will give my entire team the red buff for free. So nothing lost, for my team in that sense.
Ally slain. Ally slain.
And now we're just gonna push mid while our team distracts them in top. We are able to get mid lane tower, but we kind of need to kite away. A little bit of a waste of Baron buff because Irelia and Maokai both just ended up dying, so we're not able to fully utilize the Baron buff. Now we kind of need to run for the hills because this could be a very odd numbered fight if the enemy team all come. Now here you can see I'm attacking Grom, but I'm just trying to charge up my Q. Here you can see to get the bonus attack speed and bonus damage. Now I'm just attacking tower. Warwick comes in, actually ults Morgana instead of me. Now here he flashes, Zhonya's comes in, and I'm just attacking whoever I can, and me and Morgana outplay it. Morgana picks up a triple before dying, but I am able to eventually get the tower. So now I'm thinking Singed is running away from Rammus, only Darius is left. I can kite Darius. Darius pops the ghost, but he's not really able to reach me. I'm slowing him down. You can see I'm attacking him from range. Sin shows up, I'm just gonna flash over, just quickly pick up that kill. Darius is now, just getting hit by me for free, to be very honest. And now I'm just going to grab this tower. Minions do end up dying to Darius though, so I'm gonna quickly get the next minion wave, 2 lifesteal as well as charge up my Q. Then I'm headed back in to just kill the tower by tanking it a couple of shots, and we're able to get the bot lane inhib, which is of course going to be crucial. Of course, side lane inhibitors are amazing to get because of the amount of pressure it puts onto the map. And now we're gonna pick up the QSS as I mentioned, and we're gonna build into Triforce. Now, I wouldn't say no reason to go for Wit's End. I mean, there is of course Corki and Singe. Warwick does a little bit of magic damage as well, but here I didn't really feel like the Wit's End was really important, so I did choose to go for the Triforce, which I felt was a little bit better here. Although if you want to go Wit's End in this particular match, no, I wouldn't blame you whatsoever. So here we're getting stuck in a bit of a sticky situation. We're kind of stuck in the pit trying to walk out. So here I turn the aggression onto Corki. I get the stun on him, trying to run him down. He is forced to flash away, so that's pretty much fine. Now we're just gonna get rid of this mid wave. Samira split pushing the other lane. Singe getting a little bit caught here. We get the slow on him. Morgana puts the black shield on us, which makes us immune to his Rylai slow. This allows me to run him down, and Darius is now having to run for the hills. waiting for Leandries to expire so that I can actually recall here and get some items. Maybe there we go. Triforce completed, and at this point, um, we are going to go for Twin Guard last item because we do have a lot of both forms of damage in the enemy team, and that would kind of be the most useful. So here Baron is up. Of course, that being the case, we want to be in the area. We're starting off Baron. Enemy does have a ward in the pit though, as we saw from just now. Here Maokai is just zoning away the enemy team, which is completely fine. Meanwhile, we're just hitting the Baron. And the polymorph thing comes in. I end up walking into it at the other side. Warwick comes in, kills Irelia, but he's targeting kind of the wrong person, so Irelia goes down, but so does Warwick. We're able to secure the Baron, and Elder is now coming up in 25 seconds. So that's going to be the next objective to be gone for both teams. And of course, if you get like Baron and Elder, chance of ending the game is high, but of course, as you can see based on how the game says another 10 minutes to go, that does not happen here. And here Singe gets the flip on me. Unfortunately, the shield comes in after all the CC had already hit, and I wasn't able to QSS as well. So both myself and Morgana, the two carries, are dead. And we're left with basically our feeding support and our feeding top laner, as well as our jungler, to deal with the Elder Dragon situation. So honestly, I kind of entered the game here. That could have been a game-losing mistake if the enemy team was able to get Elder and end the game here. Thankfully though, as I said once again, based on how long this video is, you know that the enemy team is not going to end here. Neither are we. So yeah. So here we are doing the Elder, but this is really dangerous because it's like two men doing the Elder, and Maokai is coming in to run the interference, but whole enemy team is alive. This is very, very dangerous. Somehow I'm not sure how this happened, but Singe actually secures the Elder instead of Rammus. I guess Rammus smited too early, and as a result, the whole enemy team get Elder. Now, myself and Morgana, we have respawned, but there's nothing we can do when the enemy team is Elder, so I'm just going to go ahead and collect whatever farm I can. In this case, it's just the enemy jungler. Not enemy jungler, my jungle, and here the enemy jungler does kill me. I had a perfect QSS there, but to no avail pretty much. Morgana does end up avenging me though, so there is that.
Pain must be felt.
And here we just gotta kind of defend against the minions. So here we're kind of just waiting for everybody to come up, and by everybody I kind of mean me. And honestly, at this point, the good news is that all of our waves are pushing out. So this is sort of a very advantageous position for us, because despite the fact that we've lost Elder, it's actually still okay because we don't actually have to fight the enemy team, because they're not gonna be ending the game or anything like that. All we gotta do is to just clear the minions when they come. We just don't want to pick fights. Now Maokai and Irelia have very concerning behavior. They're going up very, very far, and she's even pinging she's on her way. Like, does she want us to come there or what? But Maokai's just following her. I'm not sure if they're duo or what, but Maokai's just following her, and they're about to get into a fight, and that's not good. And here, Warwick just straight up gets caught. He doesn't have Elder anymore because he did die to Morgana just now, but he just straight up gets caught and just straight up dies. So, free pick for us. And here, Samira gets caught, burns in the pool, and actually just dies to Morgana's Leandry, which is pretty funny. And here we're trying to chase down Corki, who does have a GA. Unfortunately, the ult goes a little bit wide, and we're just focusing Darius, who's the nearest target. Now Maokai is going on Corki, so I'm kind of following up. The tower is actually really low, so I can maybe tank a little bit. There we go. So I tank the tower a little bit, and we get the kill onto Corki. Eventually, we're all kind of 1 HP at this point. Rammus dies to some kind of damage over time from Corki. And now it's me, Morgana, and Irelia left. Here I have enough for Amaranth Twin Guard, so I'm gonna back and buy. And at this point I'm full build, so I don't actually need any more gold from wave, so I'm giving the wave to Irelia, because no point of me taking it when I'm already full build. And here Singe was trying to run down Morgana, but me and Irelia are here for the backup, and Morgana ends up surviving on 1 HP, and Singe is the one that ends up dying instead. So here I am pinging, for Baron. I'm checking, to see if anyone's nearby, and then popping the plant, and then of course putting a ward in. Now here I spot Corki. I'm just gonna ult him and attempt to run him down. He is able to just dash away though, so a little bit of a waste of my ult there. I wanted to at least, get a flash or something. Of course he doesn't actually have flash, but I didn't know that. He sells his GA for more damage, which is a very good move by him. Now here we are focusing the Baron, and once again Morgana and Maokai are basically trying to zone the enemies off. Darius though is coming in hot, and he does have a full stack ulti. He's going on Rammus, and Rammus just gets evaporated by him. Warwick is coming from behind, and Irelia is going against Samira as well as the Warwick, not Warwick, Darius. She does get the kill on Samira. Warwick tries to go in on me. Beautiful black shield by Morgana to protect me, and we're able to take out Warwick. In the meanwhile, Irelia does end up dying to Darius because Singe did respawn and come over to help. So now it's me and Morgana versus Darius and Singed. You can see this is an edge of your seat kind of game. Like at this point, we're basically even in kills, we're basically even in gold, and Elder Dragon is now up again. So here initially I was thinking, you know what, our waves are all pushing in, right? The enemy team has to deal with the waves. Let me start the Elder and let me try to do it. But I get spotted because of the Grass Bloom, so I don't really want to do the Elder anymore. I just want to take this Skull Crab. Rammus is now respawning and coming. Here Darius is maybe getting flashes on me. I go unstoppable and I'm trying to run away. Now I'm cutting him out. He can't really reach me, so he's gonna die. Singe is now the one coming in, flings me into his pool and roots me, but it doesn't matter that I'm rooted. I'm still DPSing him down. However, he gets me low enough for Samira to come over and one-shot me. Morgana gets one-shot by Samira as well, but she's not able to ult, and now it's Rammus and Maokai that's tagged in for our team. Singe is really low, Maokai goes down, Rammus is in big trouble, and he is probably gonna die eventually. He does die, but Irelia comes in for the cleanup, gets 2 kills, and now it's 1v1 against Warwick. Unfortunately though, Warwick has insane healing, Irelia has no anti-heal, and Warwick is able to eventually kill her and do the Elder Dragon solo. Now the major mistake that Warwick is making here is that his whole team is dead and he's doing Elder. So while this seems like a very good idea, it's actually not, because here you can see that by the time he gets the Elder, only himself and Darius are alive. And Elder only applies to people who are alive, and it's removed when they're dead. So at this current point in time, only Warwick and Darius have the Elder. The important people, Samira, Corki, and Singe, don't actually have the Elder. I would say that they're probably the most important people, because Singe, like, poison applies Elder. Samira can one-shot people with Elder, and so can Corki. Whereas Darius with Elder is not as scary compared to, like, a Samira or a Corki with Elder. So of course the most logical move for them to do at this point is to go for the Baron, since they already have the Elder. Of course we know that, and we ideally don't want to really get into a fight with them. However, Darius is getting a little bit overextended, so is Singe, and the enemy team is really split up. So here we're trying to find opportunities to kind of find picks. They're really like split up. So we are trying to find picks, and probably we're gonna get it. Yeah, here's Singe who's walked straight into us. We get a free kill onto him, and Darius coming in from the other side. Samira's behind him. Corki and Warwick are on the other side, but we quickly get rid of Darius first, and then we're going for Samira. Samira goes down, as does Darius. And now Corki as well as Warwick is back. Warwick just one-shots me with the Elder. But at this point, my team should be able to kind of clean up the rest, because it's like a 4v2 at this point. But they do have Elders, so it's a little bit dangerous. Corki does go into GA and does end up going down to Maokai. Rammus and Maokai standing by, but the Corki is able to hop the wall and go unstoppable. So both Warwick and Corki are still able to survive. And now we're kind of back to square one. This time the enemy Elder does expire though, and the wave that we have pushing in the bot lane is causing big problems for the enemy team, because they constantly have to clear it, and it's the opposite side of Baron. So this gives us a very big advantage in terms of going for Baron. And at this point, I've sold my Twin Guard and gone for a GA myself, because it's so late in the game that the death timers are so long, And having a GA at this point is actually very, very valuable because you save a lot of time in terms of respawning, and hopefully your team can, you know, cover for you. Now, speaking of which, my team is about to start a fight in mid, but me and Irelia are not there, which is pretty much the mistake the enemy team made just now. So thankfully we are able to all regroup together, and we're looking for a pick, looking for a catch. Now it's like crunch time. For some reason, Darius walks straight into us by himself. He does have GA, but he's just gonna get it popped for no reason whatsoever. In comes the Singe. Now I'm blasting Singe and Darius. I'm free hitting in the backline. No one is hitting me at all. I'm trying to kill Darius. I got him. Now Corki and Samira are in a little bit of trouble. I'm going for both of them. Both of them having to flash away. Now Rammus is on the chase. Does CC Corki, but Corki is able to escape by the skin of his teeth and doesn't actually end up dying to me. And now at this point, we're in a very advantageous position. You can see the bot lane is pushing in with the double super minion wave. We have top lane now pushing in with a wave, and we are all still alive, poised to end the game. Samira does have GA, Corki doesn't. Corki does have the package though. He tries to use the package to clear the minions, and I'm now just blasting Corki and Samira. Package just burned me almost to death though. But I'm able to get the kill on Corki, and Samira goes into GA, but I have a GA of my own, and the game ends up ending. So huge banger of a game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. I'm gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual, and goodbye.